that metal interview.
Welcome to this podcast, this episode of That Metal Interview with James. My name is James, of course, and on behalf of everybody here at That Metal Interview podcast, thank you for tuning in, whether it's through Spotify, YouTube, or whichever digital format media you guys are using. Thank you. Thank you for downloading our episodes. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube page and all digital media. Thank you. On this episode, we had the pleasure of speaking to a great musician by the name of Marten Andersson. Mr. Andersson is the current bassist for STEELHEART. That's right, the world-renowned STEELHEART, the band that recorded and the soundtrack for Rockstar, the movie starring Mark Wahlberg. The world-renowned famous Mark Wahlberg. All the audio you hear on there is STEELHEART, in case you guys didn't know that. Anyways, Marten will be talking about that a little bit and about different parts of his life and career with all these different bands, right? Lynch Mob, LIZZY Borden, STEELHEART, and of course from his project entitled From Classical to Rock. You guys should check that out. When you see it live, when it comes to your town, you guys should check it out. From Classical to Rock. Don't forget that, okay? So, without further ado, here is our chat with Mr. Marten Andersson. Enjoy. For those people that don't know, what is From Classical to Rock?
Well, it was an organization that we started basically to sort of give back to the community a little bit, and sort of a non-profit thing that turned into a profit thing, but we're doing a lot of non-profit gigs, and what we do is we take student orchestra, it's basically kids, and we get a bunch of famous rock stars with it, and then we put together great concerts, and a lot of the money goes to music education in public schools and things like that. So there's different causes that we team up. Usually, a couple of years ago, we teamed up a great non-profit music school in Orange County, for example, and things like that. So it's different causes, but it's a great fun thing to work with, and I'm very proud of it.
I saw the people that participate in this project, all the rock stars, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. We've been lucky to been able to be able to get a lot of cool people, and we put together some great concerts, and we were actually scheduled to go to China in July to do
really,
but with everything going on over there, they're actually we've been postponing temporarily with the virus and everything going on over there, so not a good time probably to go right now.
Right, yeah. I saw an interview. It was a questionnaire you did on YouTube. Someone asked you about the bass, the different basses that you use, 4-string and so on. And you pulled out on there. You pulled out an 8-string bass. Where have you used that before? I'm sorry for the ignorance.
No, not at all, man. Well, I started listening to Doug Pennick back in the day, and Tom Peterson from Cheap Trick, a lot of those guys. And
yeah, there you go.
They use 12 strings a lot, initially. And Tom Peterson still, he's got his 12-string basses that he uses, and I went and got the basic Hamer 12-string bass, and I noticed it wasn't a huge difference between 12 and 8, so I sort of found my own path a little bit. So I started using the 8-string, and I toured. I did Lynch Mob. I used it on a couple of tours pretty extensively. The George used to joke around and said, here's a bass player got more strings than I do, But
yeah.
And then with Lizzy, he was a big Tom Peterson fan too as well. So he was always going, come out, play the 8-string. Plus, my taking is that, not to get too technical, but I used to sort of split my signals on 2 amps. So one was just sort of a straight bass amp, and then the other amp I would have a lot of high end kind of distortion. So when we had it's just 4-piece band or whatever, when the guitar player would go to solos and stuff like that, it almost sounded like another guitar in the background. which was kind of my whole objective, to make it sound really full and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, it's a different.
It's been done before. I mean, Billy Sheehan has been doing that for many, many years in a different way than I have. But it's just he's sort of the guy that I saw doing this, splitting amps, and he used to split it into like 3 different, low end, mid range, and high end, and because it's very hard sometimes to get all the frequencies from one amp.
Yeah.
And from one pickup, so you sort of split them into different, and then you're sort of put together the picture of sound in the house. The sound engineer. Yeah. So it's pretty nerd stuff. Bass in there.
Yeah. So, I play some guitar. I kind of know what you're talking about. The frequencies. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's interesting. Cool, wow. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. Those guitar players, they would do that too. They would have I remember one of the tours that we did with Lynch, he would have like a little Fender combo amp there just as a clean type thing, and then he would mix that in with the regular amp, and you split the signals, and then as he was picking stuff on whatever songs, of course it would be that hard rock, but in the background it would be that nice clean sort of Fender sounding clean guitar too. So it's been done, and it's pretty cool. It kind of adds another dimension to it a little bit.
That's very cool. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How is it working with legendary George Lynch Mob?
George is great, man. Yeah, I mean, we're still friends to this day, and I think I was like 6-7 years with him, and I know he's got a little bit of a revolving door when it comes to his members, and and what I always tell people is, what made you so special? What made you stick with Lynch, that for those years, because every tour would be like a different drummer, and we went through like 3-4 different singers and stuff, and George and I was sort of the consistent pieces in the band. But I said, what, I'm an easy go lucky guy, and I show up on time, and I know the songs, and I'm in tune, so I'm not a problem to the guy. So I think but we had a lot of fun, and we got along great. I just saw him at the NAMM show a couple weeks ago, whatever. So, good guy. And, of course, it was, I've told this story before, but, I remember being like 14, 15 years old in my bedroom in Sweden at the time, trying to figure out Mr. Scary, And, when I first went in, the first rehearsal, we were rocking out on that song, and, for a split second, I was that 14-year-old kid again, playing it, back in my bedroom, So, it's pretty cool, So.
Legendary songs, man. The old dog and stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
You started playing real young. What made you start playing music?
Well, I saw a lot of the cool, I grew up in Sweden, obviously, and, a lot of the cool British heavy metal, we talking, Priest and Maiden and all that stuff, but also Kiss for sure, Live 2 record, I got that one, and I was like, this is so cool, it's like, Gene and just, spitting blood and doing all this stuff. And I was like, this is so cool. So, I just started playing bass. I started with guitar, actually, and then I saw Kiss, and I was like, okay, I want to be like Gene at the time, So, I started playing bass, and it just kind of went from there, It was sort of my calling, I guess, a little bit. And,
You were very young also when you started with Lizzy Borden, of course. How did that happen? How did you hook up with Lizzy, and how did that happen?
I came over here when I was like 18 to LA. I'm in LA, and I came over to America about 18. I went to music school for a little bit, and then I was dating this girl that knew Lizzy, and she had actually done, she's, her own right. Her name was Kim Nilsson at the time. This is still her name, but at the time she was in the band called Phantom Blue, and they had some, they were signed to Geffen and this and that, and she was really good friends with Lizzy and Joey, the drummer. And so I was dating her, and she goes, hey, and then Lizzy was looking for a new bass player. It was right after the Master of Disguise. It's the Master of Disguise tour, and he was looking for a new bass player. And she said, I know this. I've been dating the Swedish guy. He's really, good-looking guy and good bass player. And he's like, "Oh, all right, cool, bring him down." And I went down, did a couple auditions, and 2 weeks later, I was on the road to Lizzy Borden.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So,
wow, just like that. That's cool.
yeah, right. so it lasted about 25 years with him or something like that. So just
Yeah.
the amazing journey right there.
Are you still a part of Lizzy Borden?
I am not. No. In about 2016, he decided that he wanted to put together like a solo band more than anything else, and it's just it's what it is, I guess. We had toured a lot, and we had been on the road for God knows probably 7 years, pretty much from when we did Appointment with Death, and we did that record, and then we were on the road for a ton of time, and I think everybody kind of got burned out, and he kind of wanted to go more of the Alice Cooper route, I guess, with just sort of using a solo band or whatever. Because we were all partners of the band too, so it means more money for him.
Right.
So,
Business.
anyway, so I haven't. It is what it is. It's just I had some good times together, and hey, the guy gave me a shot when I was 18 when nobody else did, and how can I possibly have resentment for that,
Yeah, not at all. Of course, it was a good experience, of course.
Yeah. So, and I joined STEELHEART in 2016 and having a blast with it, so it's great.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Through Worlds of Stardust. Great album, man. Awesome.
Yeah, we have a new, it's a new single called My Dirty Girl. It was recorded live, actually, and I believe it was South Korea or Japan. I can't believe it. Can't remember right now, but you can find it at steelheart.com. You can download the single, and it's live from Korea. It was awesome. Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, so having a blast.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you guys are going to be at the Monsters of Rock cruise.
That is correct. Well, for me, it's a little sticky situation right now because I'm actually having back surgery.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually not going to be on the cruise. They got someone filling in for me, but I'm very much part of the band, and as soon as I got my rehab and everything else, I will be back. So, but because 30 years of playing bass is finally given out of my back, so it's just health is more important. But I've done the cruises before, and it's a blast for the fans because they get to hang out on the boat with all these famous amazing musicians that they probably grew up with or fans of. So it's a blast doing the boats, and those guys will put on a great show. So.
Yeah, Steelheart. So what's the future of Steelheart right now? Are you guys still promoting the album, of course?
Yeah, we're still promoting the album and also the new single, but there's a lot of new dates coming up for the year, a lot of festival stuff and everything, and Millie actually got a brand new manager right now, so I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. We're trying to figure out if should we do a record or should we, but there's definitely some cool stuff going on, and especially in the Asian market because Steelheart is freaking big over there. So it's just you go over there and it's
oh really?
Millie's like a rock god over there, of course. And
really, wow.
Yeah, it's the song "She's Gone" has actually been the #1 karaoke song in South Korea for like the last 20 years or something.
Wow, really? So, I did not know that.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We go over there. Hey, do you want to come over and do a show in Korea? Korea. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Sounds like fun. It's like we're headlining each festival for 50,000 people.
Really?
So it's just it's 300 people waiting at the airport for Millie at the time. It's like holy crap.
Oh.
So he's been doing the Idol shows over there and the Man in the Mask and all that stuff over there. And he's been on TV shows and all kinds of cool stuff. So he's a true rock god over there.
Rock god. Wow. Any stories you could share from?
Which part are you referring to? The Steelheart or just in general?
Well, Steelheart or in general.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, oh God, there's so many stories over the years, and a lot of people tell me, you should put this in a book format of some sort, because, obviously with Lizzy, they're all different personalities, with both Lynch and Lizzy, and, I mean, Lizzy, I think we were known as sort of a party band to a lot of extent. We would always, close down bars, especially in my younger days. You can imagine some guy coming over from, Sweden at 18 or 20 years old or whatever, and just, unlimited booze and girls at that point, So there's a lot of good stories, and it's some sad stories too. We lost some good people along the way in various situations, and the same thing with George, different personalities, and the one thing that I'm really impressed with the Steelheart is Millie's work ethics. He's a very hard worker, not only on the band and trying to get things going and working on songs and this and that, but also keep maintaining his voice and working out and all this stuff. So he's very it's very it's a good inspiration for me from that angle too. I mean, the guy's, I don't even know, 52 or something, and he sings amazing still. He's hitting all the notes and everything. So it's just from my standpoint, the work ethics of his is very contagious.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he the one that did that Rockstar movie deal?
Yes, he did. Yeah, right? He sings all the Mark Wahlberg songs in the movie.
I read about that.
Die Young, Stand Up and Shout, and all those songs. That's all him. Wow. So it's just a lot of people don't realize that, because we do a lot of the songs live, and people go, "Why are you doing the Steel Dragon stuff?" And it's like, well, he wrote the songs and he sings them in the movie. I didn't write every song, but Die Young and some of those songs are he wrote those songs. So it's just
what an experience.
I love.
What an experience, man. I mean, what an experience that was. Wow.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, I got to pinch myself at times, because it's been a long, fun journey for me.
Yeah. Any message? Anything you want to tell your fans, Marten fans and Steelheart fans?
Well, just keep checking the website and come out and rock with us, and help support that's the industry in general, and just go out and see the bands, and there's a lot more fun stuff coming up. So keep checking for tour dates in your city, and guys at steelheart.com or Marten marten.cc.com.cc is my website, and it's always fun stuff, and we got some classical to rock stuff coming up as well. So, and that's always amazing. It's a 50-piece orchestra with a lot of cool rock stars, and we've been having everybody from Johnny Resnick to Nancy Wilson to God knows, Chester Bennington, and it's just very, very cool people in general. So we'll hopefully take that to your city as well, wherever that may be. So
awesome. Thank you for your time, Marten. We truly appreciate it. Thank you, and we wish you a speedy recovery with your surgery, and we hope you get back on the road soon and get back on the stage. Thank you.
Thanks, James. Appreciate it, man.
And that was our interview, our chat with Mr. Marten Andersson, bassist, musician extraordinaire. Don't forget to support his projects, from classical to rock. Go check it out live. Different rock stars on there, different musicians on stage with Mr. Andersson. Don't forget to support all rock metal, of course, but on this episode, we had our pleasure of speaking to Mr. Andersson and his current band, Steelheart. Their latest CD, album, Rock and Milan Live. You guys should check that out. Don't forget to download it, stream it. Steelheart, Lynch Mob, Lizzy Borden. My name is James, and don't forget to support our social media, That Metal Interview Podcast with James, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Reddit, Pinterest, and so on. Subscribe and share if you can. We truly appreciate it. And to all the rock metal fans listening out there, thank you on behalf of everybody here. We truly appreciate it. And don't forget to keep it metal.
That metal interview.